If you have a son or daughter in addiction, there's a really good chance that at some point you have felt judged. Yes, people have judged you. That is a real thing that's not in your head. A lot of people will always have several different opinions, especially if they have never dealt with having a loved one in addiction. They can sometimes start making you feel like you did something. You didn't. That is incorrect. And I really want to point this out and highlight this, that addiction comes from all walks of life. It has nothing to do with anything that you did as a parent or didn't do as a parent. This has a lot more to do with your child's ability to cope with what's going on. Maybe they've had some trauma, maybe they have felt like they've never really fit in or belonged, and they didn't have the emotional maturity or support or know-how to really ask for what they needed, which was a lot more of like a connection. They needed to feel like they belonged, and they simply didn't. They didn't know how to handle the trauma that they were dealing with. And you know what? When trauma happens, when they're a kid, it happened to me, I don't know what to do. Most people don't know what to do. And so over time, I allowed some of those emotions to overtake me. And the truth is I did not have the emotional maturity. Over time, I had to learn how to have that emotional maturity to really start facing some of the things that I haven't been willing to face. But all of that was on myself. That was my work. That was my journey. It had nothing to do with how I grew up, which I grew up in a really good home. I grew up with a mother that was willing to do anything to take care of me. And sometimes she took care of me more than she probably should have, because that's what mothers do. Right? And, you know, I had a loving family that came in. I had a stepfather and a father that loved me very much. I had a lot of support, but I just didn't know what to do. So none of this had anything to do with the way that I was parented or anything that I had that happened to me when I was younger. It just was something that developed over time because I didn't know how to ask for the things that I needed. And, you know, I really think, like, and my mom has said this, where when I was going through my stuff, she did get judged sometimes, and she had to learn to deal with this. And the reason that I am bringing up judgment is because judgment can create a great sense of isolation within yourself. And the more that you isolate and don't talk about what's really going on, the less you're going to get support. And the most important thing about this is that you continue to reach out for help. And yes, you're going to get judged, but the most important thing is that you do not judge yourself. And as long as you are not judging yourself, the judgments that other people are giving you won't impact you and the way that you feel about things. But if you're judging yourself on top of the things that other people are judging you for, you're going to have a much more difficult time really knowing how to navigate through your loved one's addiction, because you're not going to be so inclined to want to talk. You're going to be resistant to any sort of help that people are going to try to give you. You're not going to be able to listen to some of the different rules that addiction plays under. You're not going to be able to know really like where to send them. And you're going to sit there and you're going to go, well, maybe things will just fix itself. And many times they won't. The situation won't just fix itself overnight, especially. It's a progressive disease that only continues to get worse until people change. And yes, your loved one has to make the decision to become willing to change on their own because they have their own work. But it's important for you to get your own work done as well, so that those judgments don't impact you and you start going more into isolation. That's not going to help anyone. So it is important to speak your truth. This is just something that is happening in your life. But it does not mean that this is who you are. It's just something that's happening. This is not personal. Addiction is not personal, even though oftentimes it comes with a lot of personal attacks in any way. So it's important that you learn how to empower yourself and to really face some of the things that you may be feeling during this time, because those feelings and your emotions are going to impact some of the decisions that you're going to have to make. And my biggest thing is, and I say this repetitively, but I'm going to say it again, tough love, and the tough love that you're going to have to show your child is not about being tough on them. It's just about making decisions that may be tough to do. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you get help for yourself, and I hope that you continue to not go into that isolation, because that is really not going to help. And I am here to help you. And if you want more help, you can always go check out my website. I have a lot more videos on there. I have blogs. I posted a #1 best-selling book. You can actually get the free ebook for that, or you can get it on Amazon. Just go to www.maniliconsulting.com, and there's a lot of free content on there that's going to help you a lot. So I hope you have a good day, and remember, tough love is not about being tough on them. It's just about making decisions that are tough to do. Have a good day.